Hello, guys.
And we're back.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of God of War. We are your hosts, Jude, Gear, and Vagabond. Last time we spent like half the episode defeating a boss.
Yeah.
We were beating up Boar's kids.
Yeah, and we see one lying on a dead body right here.
Yep.
Hey, look.
Stupid dead body.
Yeah, throw one X, throw a second X. How many X's you gotta throw? Well, I don't know. A lot. There. I think that's enough.
Okay, fine.
Now then.
So, how far we need to get up this mountain now?
I believe just a couple more, maybe.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Just need to get this thing lighted up.
Okay, what are you doing exactly? Are you just making random circles?
Yeah. Just making a mark.
Oh, just gotta stab in the air. Okay.
Where the trigger feels. There. And there you have it. Open sesame.
Hey.
The door is opened.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is all.
Mm-hmm. Just need to climb up to this here. And it's simple enough. Okay. It's right here.
Okay, anybody playing new games lately?
Haven't played any new games recently.
Well, yesterday?
Yesterday?
Well, last night. Yeah, last night, I finally finished Persona 5 Strikers.
Oh,
As
nice.
per tradition of some of my friends, we usually meet up on Discord or so, and we usually wait until all of us are at the final boss, and then we get a Yoshitsune, one of the strongest personas in the game, with the move called Hasatobi. It's a physical move, or Hasatobi is like this powerful move that attacks like 8 times, and is a powerful move. So we usually, as per our tradition, all of us go in to the final boss together, and with a Yoshitsune that knows Hasatobi, and then beat the boss together. And that's basically what happens. Problem is, one of the things that happened, or one of the issues with the PC port of the game is that it kind of crashes randomly during the loading screen. So when one of my friends beat the boss, there's like a bunch of cutscenes happening right after, and I assume in the middle of one of those loading for the next cutscene, his game crashed.
Ugh.
So he had to get boss all over again.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
It does, I know.
That is a lot when it comes to crashing.
Well, I guess it's been happening a lot recently because I started playing Ballad in Wonderworld and I just finished it. Oh boy, that game has so much problems.
Oh yeah, I heard. What kind? Well, does it have any crashing issues or no?
Not really big crashing issues. It's just that it's an unfinished game. Well, some of its parts, it's very unfinished.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I haven't really. I don't really have any interest in playing Balan Wonderworld. That one's kind of not my thing. But yeah, from what I heard, that game sounds like it's currently a bit of a disaster.
It kind of sucks because I wanted to enjoy it, and for what I heard, I didn't get this problem because I got the 1-day patch. But there was a couple of the bosses caused like little bits of seizures.
What do you mean by seizures?
Like they'll just blink random lights randomly really fast, and then the final boss that shoots like this one that causes seizures.
Also, people have gotten seizures for while playing the game.
Almost got a seizure. This was a big complaint for those who got the game early.
Ah, okay.
There's a lot there. Seizures and all that.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, here's hoping Balan Wonderworld gets fixed soon.
Hopefully so.
Actually, speaking of unfinished games, why is it that there's like so many like AAA big budget releases that go golden while they're in an unfinished state? Like you have Cyberpunk, you have Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, I know that was an MMO, but especially something like Cyberpunk. I guess you could say Sonic Forces.
I guess so. I guess it's mostly because of it's like, hey, corporate, we got it golden. It's almost done. It's like, okay, cool.
Well, if there are games that need to be finished, they have to be, or some that don't want to be finished, or left unfinished.
It's just to keep on the people that are paying them to make this game be happy to say like, oh, it's good, it's almost done.
Like how interesting this would be, or something like that.
It's more like keep the big guys that are paying you money happy while you're trying to get this done as good as possible.
Yeah. And what were you saying, Josh?
What I'm saying is, I feel like some of it might be. Well, I don't really agree with what you said earlier, Justin, on how to keep it interesting or something, right?
Yeah, I think that's true.
I don't really agree with that because I feel like some of the reason is, yeah, it is. I feel like it is kind of partly due to keeping the publishers happy, but I also feel like it might be a little bit on the fault of the developers because many of the games, like many release dates, or at least some release dates, especially in like later of the year, are geared towards like the holiday season. In a way, like Christmas and other gift-giving holidays. Like besides Christmas, what's like a holiday where people receive gifts?
I would think around like depending on what holiday you celebrate, either Kwanzaa, I'm trying to think of another holiday. Maybe Easter if you want to be that specific.
I guess Easter sort of counts. But yeah, usually towards the Christmas season is when some people want to release or when some people decide, okay, game needs to be released by this date, go, so they can have all those cool sales and stuff, or they can have a large amount of sales from that because of that Black Friday holiday season.
Yeah. Like what I also don't get is because when Balan Wonderworld released the demo not too long ago, like a couple months before the main release date, a lot of people were making videos just like this game has a lot of problems. I feel like they should delay it, and yeah, I'm surprised they didn't delay it because Persona 5 delayed like 4 times before officially released.
Yeah. Yeah, but to be fair, just because a game is delayed, it doesn't automatically make it good. Like, for example, one of the biggest examples is probably Cyberpunk 2077. Pretty notorious for being absolutely terrible, or at least absolutely unoptimized, unplayable on PS4 and Xbox One, and then just being buggy and stuff like that. But that was delayed like a ton of times. Like it kind of became like a bit of a running joke, or not really a running joke, but they kept letting down fans when they delayed the game.
Yeah, but for that, I think it's also due to like the PS5 coming out and them not really know how to work the kinks with the PS5.
Partly, but even then, why is it still unplayable on the PS4?
I have no idea. Like maybe you're right. Maybe there is something going on behind the scenes. Maybe they didn't know how to like fix all the bugs in time.
Hmm. Yeah, that's true. And there are some delays, issues because of a lot of things going on. Yeah, I think I can see where you're getting at.
Like at this point, if you want to know the deep roots of the problem, you probably just have to ask somebody who actually worked on it.
I think there were some.
Hmm?
I think there is some people who, or some developers who kind of came out on what the development was like for games like Cyberpunk and some issues like that. I didn't really look too much into it. I don't really have any interest in getting Cyberpunk to begin with, but I do kind of like I'm a little fascinated with kind of the whole how game development stuff and what's going on there. What's going on behind the scenes, you know?
Yeah, I get you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that about it. Okay, let's see. Still stabbing this glass mirror here. Using the stagger.
Is there a sort of like trick or puzzle to this? Or are you just kind of stabbing in a random spot?
There is a trick. It's simple. You just gotta feel the trigger with your PlayStation controller, see if you got it right, and then boom, you usually get through to it.
Could you repeat that?
Really work.
Basically,
okay.
Your controller gives you the puzzle ID of basically the feeling about where you really want to hit it at, and then
when you say your controller feels it, do you mean like it vibrates when you get close enough?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's precisely what I'm trying to say. Although that's exactly true. So.
Oh, I hate these kinds of puzzles.
I know, but when you get a new game, you gotta figure out the gimmicks of how this thing works.
Well, I guess.
And if you don't figure it out, you won't be able to learn it.
It's kind of like, well, it's not like these Professor Layton puzzles where the answer itself can be completely off the wall or just like, that doesn't make any sense, but and then like it just says like, oh, it kind of makes sense, but you have to solve it completely differently. Like a logic puzzle or something like that.
Yeah. Well, if you get a new game, you might as well enjoy it anyway.
Or hopefully it doesn't suck, but yeah, you kind of enjoy it. I'm trying to think of a game that I didn't really enjoy when I first got it. Oh, I know. It was like Looney Tunes Acme Arsenal. That game disappointed me dearly.
Yeah.
What was that game about?
It was supposed to be like a Looney Tunes third-person shooter.
Mm-hmm. And?
Awesome.
There's platforming, and the platforming sucked. And then every level was so dark, I had to up the brightness on my TV. Just thing.
Quite a lot there, huh?
What about have you guys heard about the, speaking of Looney Tunes, have you heard about World of Mayhem?
Oh, yes, I have.
A special iconic character.
Yes, Chungus is a character in this game, apparently.
Yeah, they didn't even come up with their own name. They just flat out used Big Chungus.
Yeah, they just flat out used Big Chungus.
Big Chungus, huh?
I especially like the little ultimate attack they had where he grows big and he just like lays on the enemy.
Yeah.
I don't actually. I've seen the context of what Big Chungus is, and I don't think that ever actually like happens in the cartoon at all. Where I don't really know where they came up with it.
Except it's just like he doesn't even does the same line from the cartoon, like all right, like that.
Something like that.
Something like that. I forget what the cartoon was called. It's probably on HBO Max if you look.
But yeah, I can't wait until So will we get into this horror?
Actually, I think there was a game. It was like a Flash game.
Oh no! What? Wait, hold on. The Flash game, as in like a fan-made game, or
I think it was actually made from the it was like on CartoonNetwork.com. Like as a kid, I used to play it. It was like a Sylvester trying to survive a ravaged army of undead Tweeties.
Oh, that. I kind of remember seeing a short version of that, except it was only rather short, kind of like an old animation of Looney Tunes. That was pretty good back in the day, of the dead Tweeties.
Like this was like a game. This was like a Flash game for like the early 2000s.
Yeah, I remember seeing one of the Flash games getting animated for that too.
No, I was talking about like you know those like first person survival horror kind of games with like tons of jump scares.
Yeah.
I was thinking that, but with Bugs Bunny.
Big Bugs Bunny and just like survival. I had no idea what to call it. We're going to go that route.
It'd be the 2021 remake of Looney Tunes.
Probably.
Looney Tunes Evolved.
That is pretty a good title to say.
At least it won't have that big 6-foot vampire lady.
Yeah.
I thought. Oh wait, is remember the Resident Evil character? What?
I believe it might be. Okay, one snap. Nope.
Hello?
I'm still here.
Okay. Did you say he was gonna step out for a moment?
I didn't say that, no.
I see his mic is...
Oh, I see. Well, I believe it might...
No, I'm asking if Gear said he would. Yeah, he muted his mic.
Oh, that. Gear, are you still muted?
Yeah, I can see he's muted on Skype.
Okay, there you go.
Did something happen?
I forgot I was talking to someone real fast.
It's all cool, man. So, what were you saying, Josh Tarwan?
No, you were talking earlier. You were talking about the vampire lady from Resident Evil, right?
Yeah, that. Yeah, like wasn't she like 6 foot?
I thought she was 12 feet.
Let me look this up. Let's look this up. This is for science.
I know she's taller than Master Chief, and Master Chief is 7 feet.
That's very tall.
Yeah, that is actually pretty freakishly tall. In fact, I'm pretty sure 8 feet would actually be like much higher than the room I'm in right now. Imagine a 12-foot, unconfirmed 12-foot lady, vampire lady being all like hunching over, just her back of her head just barely touching the roof.
Oh, you're right. She's like 9'6".
9'6". Okay, close enough. She's also taller than Bayonetta.
That's insane.
Crazy, to be exact.
Like,
and just ever so slightly taller than Golurk from Pokemon.
Ugh.
Who is 9'3", I think.
Jesus.
9 foot. Ugh.
You know what? I'm gonna look up how big Chungus is.
Yeah, Big Chungus should be like the same height as Bugs Bunny, right?
Yeah.
We gotta put like some meme height, like 6 feet 9 inches or something like that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Height of Big Chungus.
Have you guys heard about
height is about 218 centimeters.
Oh man!
Is this from that Are you looking on an amino site?
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's the first one that came up when I looked it up. Have you guys heard about the about Big Chungus 3?
Big Chunk is free? No.
I just ran across it right now. It's Big Chungus 3, The Return of Xander Cage, is the third video game in a popular Big Chungus franchise. It is distributed by 343 Industries due to contract issues with Epic Games, who distributed Big Chungus 2 and Knuckles. It is notable for being the first game released on the Nintendo Switch incompatible with. I feel like an AI just put a bunch of random nouns in like a fill in the blank thing. Like this. Here's the premise. At the shocking events of Big Chungus 2, Big Chungus left Chungus Land. Now, 10 years later, Xander Cage has control of the country with the help of Shrek and Goku. Now, the only hope for the world rests on the hands of Homer Simpson, who must locate Big Chungus and save the world. In a subplot, Big Chungus journeys to the altar of Uno, defeat Jimbo, and unlock the power of Uno cards, which become plot points in future releases.
Heck, I'll play it. That sounds like a great game.
Pretty good indeed.
Where the heck Xander Cage is from?
I don't know.
Is the main antagonist? No, but why doesn't the Big Chungus wiki tell me what Xander Cage is from?
I'm gonna look at what short of the Looney Tunes where Big Chungus came from. Let me look that up. Let's see.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Okay, yeah, I know where Xander Cage is from. Okay, never mind. It's from some like actions movie series by Vin Diesel or something. Played by Vin Diesel, I think.
I remember Vin Diesel. He's in the Fast and the Furious series.
Huh.
And he was also.
Let's do a Big Chungus 2 and Knuckles. What's up?
Oh, nothing really. What were we saying?
Yeah, I just looked up Big Chungus 2 and Knuckles. This is the second video game in the Big Chungus franchise. It is notable for being the first video game distributed by Epic Games, although it was produced by Hello Games, like many of the Big Chungus games. After he helped to liberate Chungus Land from the iron fist of Ulmer Food and his gangs, Big Chungus enjoyed immense popularity. However, it threatens to all come down when Ulmer Food returns with new helper Ludwig von Koopa and defends to destroy everything he worked for unless he flees the country. But hope arrives in the form of Knuckles. And that's it.
Yeah, that's
Also, Shaggy, Daffy Duck, Xander Cage makes another return here. And Big Chungus 2 was the best-selling game on the PS2 until it was surpassed by Big Chungus the pre-sequel sequel 2 years later. Huh.
Okay.
There's a Big Chungus pre-sequel sequel, and this is a special Big Chungus video game here. Although this doesn't really tell me any plot points. Although this does seem to feature a love story between Big Chungus and the Onceler, the version of the Onceler, namely from the Lorax movie. It is the second game in the series not to be based off the anime. The port for the GameCube was considered, but Shigeru Miyamoto was strongly against this, saying that Big Chungus is what makes me afraid to sleep at night. Knowing that such a game exists, let alone an entire franchise, caused my anxiety to spike tremendously. It is the only game in the series to be rated M, which has received a fair amount of backlash toward Rockstar, and caused a riot at a Cleveland EB Games, resulted in 2 dead and several injured. Hidden inside. It was a demo of the game when it was called Chungus 3.
Chungus 3, huh?
It's like a fun episode.
Oh, and recent wiki activities. A day ago, there's like this there's this very long string of letters. I'm going to try and pronounce it. Zas cold Xerfit TG Siderherx Vagin good Kitchen Batisted or Gibbetisi dry Gibbet CF. And everything
was that,
on the
was
article.
that the message?
No, this is the title of the article.
Good
The
God.
message in the article just says delete this.
Okay. The actual short. The short was directed by Tex Avery. The short was called Wabbit Flubble, and it debuted December 20th, 1941. And the recent origin of the meme came about in December 18th, 77 years ago, from the actual short. The meme where you talked about Big Chunkus video game. Title. So popularized by a Facebook post by a GameStop manager who allegedly that the customer had acquired a purchase of a fictional game as a gift for her son.
Is this from the official Big Chungus wiki?
I think
do I need to consult the official Big Chungus compendium for this?
I guess so. It all started with the GameStop manager posting on Facebook.
Oh no. I guess that explains why GameStop's stocks are rising. Because
then again, their mascot was a rabbit at one point, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh yeah, the little white rabbit who did like little game things and stuff, and they're like power to the players and stuff. And now it's upcharging PC parts by 300%.
And eventually they would get Big Chungus to be their mascot.
Yes, they would.
You know, we should have more game stores.
Yeah, that would be nice.
There used to be a couple classic like classic game store or two in a local mall, but even in like the general area, the only like game stores are all in the city. But I'm talking about like not the independent ones. I'm talking about like more large scale ones like GameStop. Because as of right now, like GameStop's like the only one in the country. I mean, yeah, there's like EB Games in like Australia or somewhere. GameStop's like the large scale game store in the U.S. as far as I know. The rest are either independent or places like Walmart and Target just have like game sections.
Yeah.
Gaming industry is like, I read and the sports industry and the movie industry combined. And I'm like, I was very surprised by that number. But at the same time, when I looked into it, I realized actually that makes actually kind of a ton of sense when you think about it.
And especially
but like pandemic aside, I mean, like games right now, mainly on console, AAA game titles are currently like $60, as opposed to like $14 when you go see a movie, or like I don't know, $20 when you see a sporting event. I don't really know how much merch goes into this, but already like gaming has when they sell a product, they already have a higher price margin compared to something like seeing a movie in the theater. Even then, when they release stuff on DVD and Blu-ray, it's like, or digital, it's still still relatively cheap compared to like a $60.
I guess it mostly goes with how much you're going to pay for the console, and then like go on from there, maybe.
Yeah, consoles too.
Yeah.
Really, that's something else indeed.
Yeah, so video games are a timeless medium.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Well, you think of it this way, like Mario and Sonic have been going on for years, like a bunch of other classic games have been going on for years. It's like you can still make a video game today and still be kind of relevant throughout, because it's still kind of a timeless medium if you think about it.
Yep, that's true. You never know.
Sort of. Well, being loose to come, there might be probably eventually we get to the VR stage where we can actually physically touch and stuff in the video game world, but who knows?
Well, hold on. Can you elaborate on the timeless thing?
Like video games are always going to keep evolving and throughout the years. Which is what I'm saying.
I don't know. It might just be me, but whenever I hear timeless, I usually timeless or something. I usually I either think, does it hold up years later? In which case, there are some very good examples of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I also think, is that game preserved for today's audiences to enjoy? Like, for example, Nintendo, the 35th anniversary Mario collection.
Yeah, it did pretty well.
Yeah, it went pretty well, but it also vanished.
Yeah, that I don't understand. Like, Nintendo likes to beat of their own drum. They'll do whatever they want and what they think is right, and not what the consumer wants most of the time. It gets kind of questionable.
But
also,
at the same time, what's up?
Yeah.
You were gonna say something?
I was gonna ask you about Persona Strikers, what your thoughts on it, but you can continue what you were saying.
Oh yeah, okay. Might as well finish that thought up. But yeah, kind of. I mean, since Nintendo is like Japan's not really largest, but like most money-making company, or I guess most profitable company, I guess you can kind of do whatever you want. Nintendo has like a decades-long pedigree of like classic titles. Even then, going even before, they even had like a couple other business dealings and stuff like that. I know they made cards and stuff, not trading cards, but like playing cards. But most of their stuff is like games now. All their stuff is like games nowadays and stuff. But yeah, when you're like Nintendo or something, one of the most iconic and one of the most best-selling video game companies out there, you can probably do whatever you want. So it's kind of from their side, from their perspective, for them it would make sense for them to bring out a few classic titles from out of the vault, and then advertise, get this super amazing remaster, straight port of Mario 64 before it's gone forever.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Or goes back into the vault for good. But yeah, anyway, you want to move on to my. Strikers is definitely one of my favorite games that I played this year, without a doubt. Probably so far one of my top 3. One thing that I thought it really did really well. I kind of like what it did, the Dynasty Warriors aspect of it. I like the fact that I can play as the individual Phantom Thieves besides Joker. I also kind of like how you can turn Morgana into a bus and then attack enemies that way. But also, after the battle, you can still drive around in it, even if it's only inside of that specific map. Story I kind of like too. I also like the new characters, namely one character who.
I think I know who you're talking about. It's Dojima, right?
Dojima's not in the game.
I'm joking.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
you know what I
sorry.
mean.
I thought
You know,
I thought
as a daughter,
Oh, I'm sorry.
he's also a cop. He tries to go after the guy who tried to kill his wife.
The detective who never shows up at home. Yeah. I like that. I kind of like that character. Yeah, I like that character very much. On the other hand, there are some moments of the game that I absolutely just did not like at all, and will skip in subsequent playthroughs.
So let me guess, is that the hot spring scene?
In which city?
Hmm.
Because
I don't know.
there was a bathhouse scene in Sapporo, and I actually really enjoyed that one. But then there was one in Kyoto that I absolutely hated.
Is it the one where they go like, you gross? That's gross.
Okay. No. Persona 5 Strikers. And just beats them up for whatever no reason. And I absolutely, my interest for Makoto just like fell off a cliff right after I saw that scene.
Yeah, we should actually do like a discussion like video on like Persona characters from 5 like that. I got a few things to say about Makoto. Yeah.
Are they good things, or are they like?
It's a mixed bag. I think the best thing I can say about Makoto, she is a big mixed bag.
Mixed bag? Yeah, I can understand that. I know. I'm part of a Facebook group that is Persona related, and there was a waifu competition or waifu poll for Persona 3, 4, and 5.
3 to 5, you mean, right?
One polls by far.
What?
By far the most votes. Yeah, I know. It was kind of funny to watch, but I was also kind of pleasantly surprised. I was expecting characters like Chie to be higher, but what dominated the Persona 4 polls was Naoto, as somewhat expected. Also Rise, and I think there was one more character who probably also got a little higher. I think it might have been Yukiko, which also very surprised me. I was told she was the least popular of the bunch, but I would need to look at the polls again, because I think Chie may have risen like a day or two ago.
Still, I get why people like Makoto because of her design and stuff. Like, yeah, she has a pretty good design. I ain't gonna lie. Personality-wise and other things.
What were you thinking? Like a tier list of all the Persona 5 characters?
Heck, let's do a tier list. Not.
I'd be down for a tier list.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think Senkichi was my favorite part of Strikers the most. Like, I like his interactions with the fan teams, and him being the only Dota group kind of helped brought the fan teams down a level for me, where they were going to like too much in the righteousness route a bit. Like, okay, not every adult is evil.
Yeah.
Actually, you're an adult yourself, so I wouldn't be talking so much. You're almost 18.
Yeah, this ain't Codename Kids Next Door. Actually.
Yes, at least in that show they accepted it. Like, yeah, you're gonna become an adult one day. But there are some cool adults that still become kids next door and whatever.
You can even argue that Haru and Makoto during the events of Persona 5 Strikers were adults since they were in college.
Definitely, yes, they're definitely adults at that point.
So would you call them hypocritical?
Yes, I think that's the best way to describe Makoto in general is kind of hypocritical.
Yeah, I can agree. I can.
Wants to like. There's one point where she's all one way. It's like right off script like a couple seconds later.
Kinda, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, why do we have an upgrade while we're at it, shall we?
Well, so what was your boss for strikers?
What's up?
So what was your favorite fight for strikers? Like favorite boss?
That's a tough one. I liked. I'm gonna try and minimize spoilers for it, but I liked the second boss, the Sandai boss,
Nice.
and I also kind of liked the Kyoto boss, and I also kind of liked the Osaka boss. So if I had to pick one, I guess shoot, I don't actually know, huh? That is a very tough one. On one hand, the Osaka boss, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna say the boss in Osaka. It's the, I think that would be the second. I think it would be the second to last boss. I think is the one that's Osaka. I know there's two dungeons after it, but I don't know if the one in the second to last dungeon would count. Would it?
I guess it would. I guess it wouldn't count exactly.
You know what? The boss in Osaka. I'm just gonna say that's the. I'm just gonna say that's the second to last boss. Second to last like major boss.
Mm.
I like the aesthetic of that dungeon, the futuristic aesthetic of the dungeon, and I liked what I like the look and feel and kind of mechanics of the boss as well. On top of that, it didn't really help the case that I had with max stats, so I was able to clobber the boss relatively pretty easily. So I guess that's also kind of a plus in my book. The boss was easy for me.
Yeah. Okay, let's get back, Justin, what you were saying. Sorry about that.
It's fine. It's all good. Just don't like that. Let's continue the conversation, shall we?
Well, we're already in 42 minutes, I guess.
Yeah. And we're in Helheim.
Yeah, and you see, you finally upgraded too.
Look at that nice armor.
Yeah.
Yes, really nice shiny off.
Best be prepared in advance, though. And you gotta be ready for what's coming. Doesn't hurt to upgrade yourself.
Yep, it's important to upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I guess this is a good place to stop for now.
Yep. Well then, guys, we'll see you later. Bye.
I see you guys more God of War / Persona stuff. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.